Good morning. Welcome to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat. Sorry, I'm a little late today. I got busy watching the stock market move around and dealing with Kat. She's gone again. Thank goodness. It's been a wild morning for me already. Here she comes. Hey, her. Poor things in heat, and Kat's just kind of, things. Anyway, just how it goes. You get used to it if you have female cats, or you get them fixed, whichever one you want to do. I don't normally fix girl cats. They get meaner. Yeah, and she's already mean enough. Like, I don't really need that cat being more mean. Yeah, but between her and the wildness of the stock market, I was a little late, so I apologize. So where did we get right up here? So anyway, we paint things here. If you didn't know that by the title, it seems pretty self-evident. But what we do paint is mostly miniatures. Here's some stuff we've been working on, or I've been working on. These are slide. They're a D&D thing. Still got a ways to go on some of these guys. This one's looking good though. I really like this guy. He's a fun little model, and it's hard to tell on his eyes, but he's got the small little slits in the eyes, and they kind of reflect. It's pretty crazy. And a fun one with this little burst of magic coming out of his hand. Whatever that's supposed to be. Anyway, so they're fun, and they're in my way. So we're gonna move them. Weird. I need to clean my table off again. And I got a death slad and a gray slad. Oop, down a little further. My camera's off again. I had to clean it. I had some stuff that got on it. So anyway, slad, they're fun. They're like interdimensional battle toads or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's slad. What are you gonna do? So anyway, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Pretty good one here. Cullen, my oldest son, and his team made it all the way up to 4th in this last tournament, and they were actually in control of an alliance this time. I don't know why I'm looking in here. There's nothing there I need, which is cool. Like, that's cool that they were in control of the alliance, which means that they were the ones that were determining what was going to happen. So that's pretty cool. And they got to pick their team, and it's a neat thing. So we're working on this here Manticore. Let's get that camera readjusted. The light's all crazy. The whole thing's crazy. All weird. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty close. This is just a quick dry brush. Just to kind of bring some of the color back. Almost can't even tell on the camera. You can definitely tell more live. Oh God, I think that dog is outside. Hopefully she doesn't want in. It's really nice outside. So she may just stay out there. It's so crazy. It almost froze last night. Good morning, Sir McBeardsly. I think it actually did get down to freezing because it frosted. Um, so like, Oklahoma's just so weird. Yeah, today it's gonna be like almost 80 degrees. There was frost up. There was frost this morning. Oh, she definitely wants in. God bless it. She does this every time. I gotta start coming up with a better solution on how to deal with that dog. Although summer's coming and she won't come in at all. All right, troops. I gotta go let this silly dog in. I'm gonna be right back. She's a bit of a nuisance, but she's my nuisance. McBeardsly's car was also frosted over. Brought him plants in. Good chop, good call. Put him back out probably tomorrow. I think you're good today. Let's see. Let me look at the actual forecast. That is not our area. That is. It'll be all right. You could. I mean, I took mine outside because it's only supposed to get down to 40 tonight, which should be okay. It depends on how long it's been in the pot. If it's something that's been in a pot for like 6 months or so, it's gonna be fine. And like stuff that's in the ground, as long as it's been if it's been in the ground for a whole year, it's solid. If it's something that comes back, things like that. I'm sure McBeardsly knows that. I'm just telling everybody else that might be listening that maybe is getting into gardening and wants a few little garden tips or something like that. Try to talk about a fun variety of things on this channel. It's good times. At least I think it's good times. I don't know. I don't know what other. I guess since it's my show, I don't actually have to care, but you know I do. I like to know for the show and what we talk about, so and especially because a lot of topics we talk about are fun things about, like, plant advice or cats, so I definitely, or dogs. We love animals here. We love all animals here. Oh man, there was some really amazing deer activity out here on Sunday morning. 2 younger deer jumping over fences and running through stuff out here. It was really awesome. Oh, I didn't turn it back on. Thanks, Mom. My the dog had wanted in, and I forgot to turn the camera back on when I came back. But yeah, no, the deer were gorgeous. It was really pretty. They jump. We have this little like. There's like a fence. There's 2 fences between us and our neighbor to the north, right? And the way they put the fences in, there's like a little alley there, and they're like it's just for the trees to grow in. There's a bunch of red buds and we get those blackjack oaks out here that don't get very big trunk wise, and it's a really neat place to do that. So like you get to jump through and get to watch the deer jump through there. sometimes the foxes will use it. We've got foxes that like to go and raid the hen houses across the street, and they'll use it because there's a forest to our northwest. Well, I shouldn't say forest. It's like it's a part of a forest. It's a little protected area of trees that one of the folks out here on the circle owns and isn't too keen on having it messed with, which is the way I like it too. Let them live in there. It keeps everything else in balance. You got a little bit of wild over there. Like we don't get a lot of mice problems around here because it's hard for the mice to get in here because of the hawks and the other birds that live out here. You have several predatory types of birds here. I saw a turkey vulture the other day. It was amazing. Those things are wild. If you've ever seen a turkey vulture, it's a crazy looking bird. Okay, so on the bottom, we're not going to add any of the Naples yellow. We're just going to do the burnt sienna. And that's going to help us keep it darker underneath. Because we don't want to add any light to the underneath sides of these wings. We just want to get the color to look right. And mainly so we have two different colors between here and the actual limb parts of the wing. Because this would be the membrane. These have a name, I just can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. Oh yeah, fresh stuff. Yeah, you probably do need to wait till tomorrow. Should be good after that though. Parsnips looking good. Heck yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. Onions, cilantro, sage. Yeah. A little salsa garden going over there. Still a little too early for tomatoes, but I think this weekend might actually be tomato weekend. I gotta go get the rest of my garden set up. I got so much to dig, but our van is out for the week. We've got to get it going, so I'm driving Kristen to work on top of taking kids to school. And I gotta go, I'm gonna go grocery shopping today while everybody is at work and school, and I got a whole bunch going on. It's funny, I've tried different things for my dry brushing stuff. One of my friends that paints, he uses an old Lego sheet, like the thing that you build your house on or base on or whatever for Legos. One of the big, it's like one of the pieces like this, big piece, and that's what he uses. But I don't know. I think I will forever use the back of my hand. It's just the best. I can feel the texture of the paint better. And when I don't do it, I mess up. It gets wrong. Okay. We're getting mighty close. We need to get you a base. Because we're to the point now where we're going to start rubbing stuff off. We don't have a base. Let's see what I got. I'm going to need a big one. Maybe I got some. So this is my bit box. This is kind of fun. If you don't have one of these and you're a modeler, then you're probably doing this wrong. Let's see, we're gonna have to come way up and see a bit box. It's like a tackle box. So like this is like a bunch of old broken pieces of miniatures or whatever have you. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I got these. These are cool. These are really old Blood Bowl trolls. These guys are cool. I have a couple of them. They're fun. They got great bases. Here's a base. This one. That's what I'm looking for right there. So no, here's a really. This is a really old. I think this is an ogre. I think this is old. Either 40K or not 40K. Warhammer Fantasy. Ogre. We got some old Skaven. Some really old Skaven. There's a new Skaven. A little bit of both. And some old Prince of Rogue and other bases. Yeah. Stuff. Shields and stuff. Things that break off other things. Yeah. Got old school stuff. Some old metal pieces, other miniatures. So, yeah, you accumulate that stuff as a modeler. And that's actually my general box and my fantasy box. It keeps a bunch of stuff in it, but it's mainly my fantasy stuff. I got another one that's the sci-fi. Let's see, get this thing readjusted. There we go. A little bit that way. All right, good. All right. So anyway, yeah, the bits box is fun. I like it. Ooh, that might be too big. Wow. It's too small. The other one is like way too big. You can always set it to where I guess that's about right. Yeah, that's about right on the money. It's pretty close. Okay. Let's see. About to not to do tomatoes. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta get all the other stuff for salsa. Oh, yeah, Dad grows a lot of peppers. Or tomatoes. Yeah, you probably need to get those zucchini sprouting. Probably this month. I'd say this weekend, maybe this week. Germinate them inside. I don't know what your seed setup is. I need to get I'm probably gonna get some grow lights and stuff next year. Really get started. We've got enough room out here to where we could almost like sustenance farm out here. Not quite as. We'll give that just a few seconds to finish drying up and we'll get back to work. never seen the biscuits when he brings it. Usually very big. Maybe he's supposed to be a little bit. Biscuits is so weird. You don't really know if it was supposed to do that or not. I'm kind of glad I'm gonna get these guys out of here. I'm gonna put the big guy out. I don't know why I gave it blue eyes. It just seemed like fun. I don't think they're supposed to be blue. I think they're supposed to be like cat eyes. Whatever. Now it's starting to look goofy. Pull that out. Where's my... That looked too goofy. I can't do it. I can't handle it. Too much. That's too much. Blue-eyed devil. I think it was looking better with just the little white bits. And you know what? Let's let that dry. Before I do something stupid. Alright, so go back and make sure all our spikes are black. Oop, not the hair pack, just the spikes. A little shaky. I had a dirty chai latte today before I came home. Was it? Since we only have one car right now, I take Kristen to work, and so we dropped all the kids off, and we had like an hour to kill. So let's go get some coffee. Went to this coffee shop, got a dirty chai tea latte, and now I'm like, hands are shaking like crazy. Claws and spikes are always interesting to get painted. It's really easy to forget to do one side of them and you end up with like a weird color. And you won't notice it till you're probably playing the game or picking up after you've played the game. And you're like, oh man, there's like a spot I missed there. Well, I mean, that's how it used to be. It's not like that anymore. Usually I'm so meticulous now. I'm pretty much on it all the time. Oof. Yikes. Back down you go. Jesus. Oof. I couldn't imagine trying to day trade in this environment, man. Why? Howdy. You'd have to have balls of solid granite, I'll tell you what. Baghdad called me about family. Hey, there you go. Holiday plans for like Easter holiday. Yeah, people freaking out about stuff is crazy. Hold on, I gotta answer some family real quick. Yeah. I can't believe it's already like Easter's like right around the corner. I was trying to get this. I have this sculpture I'm trying to fix outside. That I was trying to get done by Easter. I don't know if I'm gonna make Easter. Probably make mine. Oh, like actually celebrate. Okay, I get you. Yeah, it's a good time to get together. My sister is Catholic, so like she gets big on it. My kids just like having a family gathering. So I'm a little bit more on your dad's end of things. Myself. My kids take after me a lot. It's a great excuse to get together. You know, you should have some sort of spring festival. You know, and the Europeans molded their festival, you know, their ancient Celtic roots and stuff and tribal roots into the Catholic festivals over time. So, you know, it's just really the European style spring festival. There's an equivalent in almost every culture. Yeah, it's 420. We were Kristen's team was talking about that, and she brought that up, and they were like, man, they should just reschedule Easter. And it's like, bro, oh my God, Easter has been around longer than the idea of policing in the manner in which we police now. Wore CVs, which required the 420 code to be processed over the CVs so that they could talk about marijuana issues, which eventually led to the idea of using 420 as a holiday to smoke weed, and here we are. So, like, you can't, if we're going to reschedule anything, we should reschedule a weekday, because that's ridiculous. Why not do both? Why, right? Why not? Why even have the conversation? Smoke trees for Jesus. Who gives a shit? God dang it. People are weird, man. It's weird. People wild. Just wilding out. Dang. It's funny though. You just gotta sit back and have a laugh. 3 or 5. Really not much else you can do. It's a wild, wild world we live in. Somebody should sell tickets. I'd buy one. Smokes them, throw down some deviled eggs, eats candies. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now he's talking about a 50% tariff on China. China won't back down, and I don't think he understands that the Chinese don't care. Oh, this is gonna get crazy, y'all. I don't normally talk politics, but now we're getting into a place where I kind of understand a little bit about what's going on here, and what he's doing is a bad idea. You just can't bring it back there. Where he's trying to take everything back to you can't. You can't take it back there now. It's too late. The ship has sailed. It sailed years and years and years ago. During Reagan, honestly, like, we changed everything back then. And it's like, and then we changed it again. Like, we changed it more that direction with Clinton, and then after the pandemic, it got even more that direction because we all needed each other's help. Like, you can't take it back as far back as he's trying to go. You can go back a little bit, but you can't go that far. Conservatism isn't necessarily in and of itself a bad thing. You need it to kind of ebb and flow. That's just kind of how society is. So you need a conservative party that actually functions like a conservative party, and that's the problem that I have with Donald Trump. Because believe it or not, I actually economically I'm a conservative. I don't believe that the government should really have much say in a lot of things. I shouldn't say economically, but politically. I would be a conservative if the conservatives still were conservatives. Because I just don't believe the government shouldn't be involved in all of that much stuff. But I do think we have some social programs that are required. But the federal government's job is to mandate things at a federal level and just say this is the minimum. And that's not what we do anymore. The conservatives now want to make it to where everybody has to obey what they say. And that's not how federal government's would do it. You set a minimum standard, and then the state governments have to meet the minimum standards. And that's how it's supposed to work. Unfortunately, we're just too embroiled in culture wars and stuff right now to actually see things straight. And it's a certain part of the parties that want to keep that going. It's not the massive people really, in and of themselves, don't particularly give a damn about the culture war unless you stir them up about it. People by and large are more concerned with, what's the price of gas. But when you can get them all riled up, you can get them mad about anything, and that's what they do. They get us all mad. That's something, and then they pull the wool over our eyes. Well, they take all the money out the back door and leave us with nothing. And right now it's the Republicans. In a couple of years it might be the Democrats. It jumps back and forth. It's so wild. They're always government people. The people who run government are always get corrupted. They might even start out with good intentions, but it's just a corruptible kind of situation. So it's going to corrupt people, and that's why we created term limits and stuff. As much as we could. Well, what a politics and history lesson here today. We don't normally talk politics just because it's just a subject that isn't always the best idea to talk about. It's so funky how little spiky bits like this don't like to take paint. It's really wild. Somehow we still up with fossils and tortoises making decisions for us. Yeah, it does it. Yeah, it's just how it goes. It's so wild. Because we can sit here and yell and scream about all these things, and we still end up. It doesn't matter who's in power. We end up in the same predicament. For those of us in the middle of all this, it doesn't change anything. The only thing that those government changes anymore is for the ultra poor or the ultra rich, and that's why they're able to take advantage of people so easily. It's because the people in the middle desperately need something to change, and so you can get charlatans come in saying, "Oh, well, I know how to change it." They can't. They can't actually change it. It doesn't change like that. You can't actually. No one person can do this. It takes a long-term movement to fix things. And unfortunately, people know that that's true too. And so they create these movements that aren't right. Huh. I'll fire it a little further up. Like I said, there's always like these little spots of white on them. Like you missed something. And sometimes it's just a light playing tricks on you. Painting 3D models is so weird. Super fun though. Oh yeah, they won. The boys got 4th place this week. This weekend in the robotics tournament. They so in Kansas they were they were selected to be on an alliance, and which made it to 3rd, and that's pretty cool. But you're not like in charge. This tournament they got to make alliance selections, so they were the captains of the 4th place alliance, which is a way bigger deal than being on a 3rd place alliance. Being able to like captain an alliance to 4th place is a bigger deal. And they went into the tournament, the finals part of the tournament as a 12 seeded team. So before selections, they were 12, and so that means that because there's only 8 alliances, so that means that 1 through 11 had pretty much already been sucked up by the time the 8th alliance got selected. So for them to be able to push their way through was amazing. Even more amazing was the fact that they went through the 1st place team on the 1st match to push themselves through. And they, so the number 1 team is just so glorious. I'm gonna take the time to tell this story because this story is amazing. And so you could tell that the 1st place team really thought that this was just kind of a little bit an easy deal. They were kind of like, oh no, we got this. They were over there kind of, goofing off and celebrating, and already kind of like they were real loose, Not Cullen. Not my son. My son saw the situation, and he is so good at doing this. When you underestimate my boy, he will take advantage of that. He loves it when you underestimate him. He eats it for breakfast. When he played soccer, he is the exact same way. He wanted you to underestimate him so that when he did the thing that he was going to do, you didn't expect it. And so he got his team real organized. He had been watching what those guys had been doing, and he knew what their strategy was going to be. And so he reset his team and got things ready and got everybody ready to go with a plan, and caught them lacking. And caught them hell lacking, like they lost. And they were like, wow. Complacency is a victory killer, absolutely. And they totally thought they just had this one in the bag. And Cullen grabbed a hold of their cajones and pulled them down in there. And then they got knocked into the bottom. The next round, they got knocked off the top tier and down to the bottom tier because it's a 2-round elimination or 2 elimination tournament. And then they fought their way back through in the bottom rungs until they got to the 4th place match, and then they had to fight that same number 1 team again, and they beat them that time. But it was close. It was closer. The loss they had to them was closer than the victory they had over them. So like it was cool. Yeah. you underestimate my power, and I have the high ground. So yeah, he's like that. That's definitely how if he can maneuver a position to make you think that you have him beat, that's what he'll do, and then he'll surprise you. And he's that guy. He'll pull you in and fake you out and then beat your ass. It's hilarious. And they did the same thing to this other Mexican team out of Mexico called Forza. And their match, they thought they had it in the bag because it looked like it was over towards the end of the match, and so they were real focused on getting their robots set up into this right configuration, which they couldn't get it to happen anyway. And while they were over there figuring out, thinking that they had won this match, Cullen is like scores a bunch more points, and that while his other two teams are doing their parking thing, because he knew he would be able to score these points. And they would be able to get there because you had to lift your bot up off the ground to score these points at the end of the match. And he knew that the other two guys were going to get the points, and he needed to get these other tokens scored. So he scored these other tokens, and while they were lifting, and in the end, the Mexican team was so irritated by the situation, they challenged the ruling on the field, and it was intense. Because they ended up beating that Mexican team to go on to the fourth place to lose to number one. They beat them by a single point. When it came out, the totals came out, they won by 1 point. It was insane. It was so good. Yeah, yeah, he would be good at competitive Magic. He is really good at rope-a-dope, man. He is. That's his favorite thing to do. He loves to just pull. I almost just stabbed myself in the wee-wee with that X-Acto knife. That would have not been fun. Would not have been saying wee-wee. Would have been saying no. Oh, no. But yeah, super impressive win. They made the Bethany Tribune for their victory in for their pulling weight in Kansas. But now he's talking about, because this is his junior year, now he's more concerned with legacy. Because he knows he's leaving, and him and his buddies have taken this team, because I talk about him, but it isn't just him. He's the captain and all that. But he's got a great group of boys around him that are doing all this this work on this stuff, and some really great coaches and mentors that are helping them go through all of this. But like I said, he's concerned about legacy. He doesn't want, because I think there's out of the 6 guys on that team, 4 of them are going to be seniors next year, and they don't have any seniors on their team now. So these are the robotics kids. They've got 2 younger guys in, but it's they got to start getting. They got to start getting people trained up for the next round of kids coming through, and that's so cool to know that's what my son is concerned about is a legacy for the program. That shows ownership. It really does, and it's incredible. It's just you hope you raise your kids right. You don't really know until something like this happens, if you did. But it's really good. It's really good when you find out you did it right. It's a great feeling. Oh, shoot, it is really hard to get in all these little spikes here. There are a lot of them. Being able to see the colors crazy because it's all tucked up in there. Nothing. We got 52 minutes. Yeah. Looks like we're coming back tomorrow. One more round on the old Manticore. We'll fix that eye over here. Let's do that eye. We got time for the eye. This one's a little on the dry side, but shouldn't have to do this. It's really hard to tell where their eyeball is in that all that mess. Awesome. Lots of fun. Alright, well, let's go ahead and wrap this one up for today. Because I don't really want to be messing around with too much more of that black paint yet. Make my eyes bug. And I got like a million things I gotta do today. It's crazy. Not being down to one car with a family of 6 people. It gets it gets wild. So we gotta figure that out. I gotta go grocery shopping today. I think tomorrow's gonna be a little bit more chill, but somebody's got to get to the grocery shopping, and that someone is gonna be me. It usually is. Well, actually, it's usually me and Kristen together. But you know, when you gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta do it. Anyway. I'm a goofball. I gotta go. I gotta get that stuff done. And I gotta get some water. I definitely didn't drink enough. I don't think I drank any water this morning, actually. I usually try to drink a cup of water in the morning. I don't think I did. So I'm feeling a little parched. So I gotta do that. And then I gotta try to finish digging up this garden. Because it's time to get stuff in the ground coming up this weekend. I got one more old tree stump to dig out. I don't want to do that while the ground's still soft from being wet, because it's so much easier when you get in there while the ground's wet and drag that shit out. Because when the ground gets hard here in Oklahoma, holy crap, it gets hard. Yeah, grocery shopping makes you irrationally angry. Yeah, I usually hit Winco. Winco's not too bad. I get a lot of stuff bulk from Sam's, just because, like, if you're trying to save money, man, certain things. Like, olive oil is olive oil. Unless it's extra virgin, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. So I go to, like, that kind of stuff. And they sell some decent basmati rices and things like that there. And their spice is all right. It's not bad. So and if you're going to buy chicken, chicken is chicken. So go buy 2 whole chickens cheaper at Sam's than you can get them anywhere else. So that's why I use Sam's. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. And, try not to worry too bad. And don't buy stocks that don't have dividends right now. It's a bear market. That's not like professional advice. So don't take that as professional advice. But that's just just from somebody who's watched this happen a million times. Don't buy anything that doesn't have dividends right now. It's just not worth it. If it's paying dividends, maybe better, but if you're not even going to get anything out of holding it, then unless you're playing options, you option guys, you got balls of solid granite. I swear to God. Or especially right now, I couldn't be playing options right now. I'd get sick to my stomach. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, we'll talk to you later.